Hey everyone, this is SamFam and welcome to Raptors Uprising Gaming Channel. Today we're going to take a look at defense on NBA 2K22. So in this year's version of the game, there are a lot of pick and roll defense inconsistencies even if you set your settings correctly. Here you can see me do a pick and roll against my opponent and you can look at this hedge defender Mike Miller just get lost while his on-ball defender he's controlling himself. Kind of messes up the pick and roll and gives me an easy dunk. So the best way really to counter or avoid these inconsistencies is using switching with the right matchups and control. That's your most reliable option. As you can see me carry it out there, I was able to shut down my opponent's offense very easily and with really no inconsistency here. I'm getting the exact thing I want and I got the right matchups and the right user control depending on who I'm controlling as the off-ball defender or on-ball defender. Works out perfectly. So the two things you must get right to nail what you were seeing there is number one, get yourself the correct defenders, which I'll go into detail right after this clip. But after you get the correct defenders right, number two is user controlling the correct defenders at the right time. Here you can see I initially started as the hedge and then on ball and now I'm back to the hedge. If you do all of that correctly, you'll be able to establish what I call a level 3 switch pocket. And if you establish this pocket, there's nothing they can do with the pick and roll. It's dead. They can't even post because the matchups are correct. So let's begin with the matchup. So ideally, you want the defender who can guard inside and outside as the on-ball defender against the opposing team's lead handler. So whoever they're going to pick and roll with. So someone like a Draymond or AK is ideal for this. And once you have matched up Draymond against the opposing team's lead pick and roll handler, you want to fix the rest of the matchup. So I have my point guard guarding their shooting guard. I have my shooting guard guarding their small forward. And I have my small forward, who's actually a power forward, Rudy Gay, to guard their power forward. And leave the center matchup alone, so leave that on automatic. That's what's going to help best. So once you get a Draymond or AK or someone of that defensive style, and you'll be good to go. So to start off, if you see a pick and roll, you want to switch to your hedge defender. Step all the way up as high as my Ibaka is there, so you can meet the handler as he uses the screen. If you do that, the on-ball defender is going to go under, and the moment your hedge defender hits the dribbler, immediately tap X. If you tap X, you'll automatically switch to the next closest defender, which will always be the hedge guy. The moment you switch, drop down so you can defend that row and just track the screener. Because you already bumped the ball handler, Ibaka will stay up top, so this is perfect pocket. So same thing here again. You see I'm controlling the hedge defender at first, coming all the way up to meet the dribbler, so the on-ball defender goes under. The moment I make contact, tap X. This X tap is key. You tap that, you're immediately going to go to the hedge, and then you just track wherever the screener is about to go, fade, roll, stay with them, and because you had Draymond on the ball to begin with, he can guard inside and outside, and after that, the pick and roll will be completely snipped out. So you can see here again, hedge out, make contact, tap X, drop, and if they pop, follow them, but I knew his player was going to drop, so I kind of over-anticipated them, which worked out for me, but hedge out, make contact, tap X, you see? Perfect. And that was Ibaka inside with Draymond up top, so it works both ways because Ibaka and Dre can be switched interchangeably. But if you don't execute those two steps correctly, it can really hurt you if you're running a switch scheme. So you can see me here not doing it well. I hedged out, but I didn't switch. I didn't tap X to switch to the hedge defender. So I gave up a little bit of a roll there, and that's enough for my opponent to score. Also, if you hedge out too slowly and you don't show switch, and you don't make contact with the dribbler quick enough, you can see the on-ball defender in this instance actually went way over, which is not what I want because I wasn't user controlling any of the pick and roll defender, so there's that inconsistency, right? It's coming in and then it's going to end up hurting you because you don't get the exact thing you want. I ended up getting a stop here, but this is not what I wanted. I kind of just played out of a mistake. I did a good job cleaning it up, but not ideal. Here you can see another incident of half over, which is once again caused by me not stepping up high and quick enough as the hedge. Because I went off ball here, just to show you guys like inconsistency with the defense. You can see that switch is okay, but it's not clean because it kind of gave up the roll. Draymond ended up stopping it because he's a great defender. So even if you don't go completely over or you don't create that level 3 switch pocket, you will still get some stops. But if you can nail down the mechanic of doing everything properly, that's going to get you this kind of clean switches with the right matchup, with the right user control. You'll be shutting down the on-ball stuff, and you'll also be sniffing out all of the rolls and the pops. Bam, right there. That's clean. That X-tap with that hedge out to set it up is perfect. So work on your mechanics. Make sure you get the hedge out, tap X. Get that down. It will go a very long way to giving you a very good Switch defense as long as you have the right defenders for it. So the rest of the way, I'm just going to leave you guys the full defensive settings you can see here, which I've been using for the Switch. We will, in the next video, probably sometime next week, move on and further complete our defense. We have the Switch element down now. We're also going to go into more zone defense and also your classic catch hedge, no attach, and why we want to do that depending on what our matchup is doing. So we're going to become more flexible and more variability. So get this down, try it out yourself, then hedge out in the next tab. As always, thanks for coming by, and we look forward to speaking to you guys again very soon.